Today we're going into a heavy pull workout with a lot of repetitions. So are you fueled? And are you fueled with the right fuel? A lot of people eat vegetable oils, they have sugars, they have artificial foods. Instead of eating products, you need to cook at home with the healthy foods that I allow you on this program. That will allow you to better fuel your workouts and push out more reps and more sets, which are gonna be evident in your physique. So we're gonna finish this weekend strong by starting off with one of my favorite exercises, and that's why you're gonna see this quite a lot of times throughout this program, and that is the bent over dumbbell row, because it really targets your traps, your rhomboids, and gets a little bit of your lats. So it's a phenomenal exercise to begin with your back. So you'll need 2 dumbbells, pick them up with a straight back, feet about shoulder width distance apart. You're gonna bend over with your legs bent, palms facing behind you, upper back straight, and begin rowing by squeezing your shoulder blades up and then rounding them out at the bottom. Keep your neck aligned with your spine. Throughout this movement, don't look ahead. When you're performing the row movements with your dumbbells, you're gonna focus on your traps as the primary mover. You're gonna work your lumbar, your erectors, and your lats as your secondary muscle groups. Squeeze your shoulder blades at the top for a split second and then come back down. But do not allow your arms to lock out straight so you can keep the tension applied to your traps. This is your commitment to yourself, nobody else, that you are finally gonna finish something that you've begun. So let's hit it. Remember why you begun this program. What was your commitment? Make sure you journal it every single day and reaffirm those goals, because it's these goals every single day that will take you to that end picture and that physique that you visualize. Now remember, it isn't all about how you begin these workouts, it's how you finish. So make sure that you focus on your last set as strong as you did on your beginning sets. So don't get distracted. Focus on pushing yourself to the very end. So the next exercise we've got is a single arm banded pull down to really target the lats and give the thickening and the width to this area that we crave. So you're going to grab hold of that band, step out slightly so you can get plenty of resistance on this exercise, because we need to reach absolute failure here at around 15 to 20 repetitions, and you should be working a 3-second negative as well. So you're going to come down and then back up. Make sure that elbow is in line with your lat, so it doesn't fall forward, doesn't fall back. Comes down out wide and then back up for a full stretch by straightening that arm. Squeeze down as low as you can, focusing on the lats, not the bicep, as you come down. And then once you've completed the required amount of reps on one side, you do the exact same thing on the other. When performing this exercise, I want you to stand up straight with tight posture, chest up and chin up. To start this movement, you're going to grab hold of the band with one arm, and you're going to target one lat at a time. So you're going to target one side of the latissimus dorsi muscle before moving on to the opposing side. To keep the constant tension applied to your lats, make sure there's tight resistance on that resistance band before you even begin the movement. So when beginning this movement, I want you to ensure that there's resistance on the resistance band so it never allows the lat to disengage. When you grab hold of that resistance band, I want you to ensure that there's resistance applied before you even begin in the starting position. This will allow constant tension on the lats. When you pull down on that one side, I want you to pause for 1 second before stretching out. Once you've completed all the repetitions on that one side, you will allow this lat to relax while you work the opposing side. Now, to isolate the lats even more so, we're going to do a single arm banded straight pull down this time. This won't require any bicep flexion whatsoever, so we can really isolate the lats. So, in the starting position, make sure that there's tension placed upon the band, and then you come down with your arms completely straight to one side and then back down. But don't just focus on the arm doing the movement. I want you to concentrate on squeezing your shoulder blade down and back, and then stretching it back out at the top to get a full range of motion here to really isolate the lats. Once you've completed all the reps on one side, again, I want you to do the exact same on the other, and that would be one set. And then you rest for about 45 to 60 seconds and repeat again for the second and third sets, finishing at 4 sets total of this exercise. When you're performing the single arm, straight arm banded pull downs, I want you to stand facing away from the resistance band with your upper body straight, keeping your chest out, head up, and neck aligned with your spine. When you reach overhead with that resistance band in hand, I want there to be resistance even at the top or the start of the movement to ensure that you do not disengage the lat. So you're going to be targeting one lat at a time when performing this exercise. I really like to utilize this as a pre-fatiguing movement of the lat because you don't have to utilize assisting muscles such as the biceps. There you're going to pause for a second and then go back to the starting position before performing the same movement on the opposite lat while the lat that you just worked is relaxing. To ensure that there's constant tension placed upon the lat muscle that you're working, make sure that there's resistance on the resistance band at the start of the movement, and then as you come down with your arms straight, you're going to retract your shoulder blades until your palm is almost in line with your thigh. So now we're moving on to the banded face pull. This will target your traps, but also your rear delts as well. You'll need a resistance band. You'll need the floor to sit on. And you're gonna put the band over the bottom of your feet. You might wanna point your toes down slightly so the band doesn't flip over the top. And then what you're gonna do is grab hold of the resistance near the bottom of the band to give it plenty of load. Then you're gonna come up so your hands come up towards your eye line and back down. That will target your upper traps and your rear delts and your rhomboids. When performing the banded face pulls, I want you to sit down, keeping your upper body erect, but your legs flat on the floor. So your upper body and lower body should be at a right angle. With the resistance band placed across the bottom of your feet, you're gonna hold onto the resistance band and focus on the targeted muscles. Those targeted muscles are gonna be your rear delts and your trapezius muscles. To place constant tension onto the muscle groups, when you start this exercise, there should already be tension placed upon the resistance band. So there shouldn't be any slack there whatsoever. And then when you pull up towards your head with your elbows up high, I want you to pause for a second once you've completed that contractual part of the exercise. When you go back to the starting position with your arms locked out straight, there should be resistance, but I don't want you to pause here. Only pause when your hands are up towards your head. And moving on to legs, we are going to be hitting the single leg glute bridges. So you'll need a bench or a seat or a couch or steps, something to elevate your heel upon, because we're going to be targeting the glutes, of course, and the hamstrings with this movement. And it's going to cause a lot of stress and load because you'll be performing one leg at a time. So you're going to lie down in front of your chair. You can point one leg up. Your working leg is going to be at a right angle, and you're going to put your heel into that bench. So you're going to start off like this, and then you're going to lift up as high as you can, and then back down slowly under contraction. Get your glutes up as high as you possibly can, and then slowly down. And what you're going to do is lift both of your feet onto the bench. But now what you're going to do is put one leg up towards the ceiling. That is going to be your relaxed leg. And then you're going to keep one foot on the bench. That is going to be your working leg. You are going to be targeting your glutes and your hamstrings as your primary mover on this single leg glute bridge. As you do so, what I want you to do is push through that working foot, allowing your relaxed foot to face up towards the ceiling as you push up, targeting your glutes and your hamstrings. As you come back down, your lower back should almost touch the floor before you go back up. I want you to keep constant tension applied to your glutes by not allowing your glutes to touch the floor. Do not allow this muscle group to disengage. Keep it engaged throughout the entirety of this movement. Once you've completed one side, then you can allow that muscle group to rest while you work the opposing side. It's not meant to be easy. It's supposed to be difficult. If it was easy, everybody would have the physique that they've always wanted. But the people who have the body they've always wanted have not given up, and neither are you. You didn't come this far just to come this far. Don't give up now. Maybe you've given up in the past, but not this time. This is your time to shine, so let's have it. Now we're going to isolate our hamstrings with standing banded hamstring curls. So you'll need to put the band around something supporting that band so it doesn't move. Now I've got a workout bench here that I'm going to utilize. So I want you to put your foot on the inside of that band, and that band should wrap around the back of your ankle there. Once you've created tension, that's going to be your starting point to hit the hamstring curl in a standing position. So you're going to curl back and then forward. Back and then straighten your leg. Squeeze the hamstring, much like a bicep. Pause at the top and then straighten out. So your posture when performing the standing banded hamstring curls should be in a standing position with your chest out, head up, and neck aligned with your spine. Focus on isolating one hamstring at a time. With the resistance band looped around the back of your ankle, you pull back and target the back of that working leg. Think of it like a bicep. You're gonna squeeze at the top and then allow it to straighten out, stretch out at the bottom. To keep constant tension applied to this leg, just before your foot touches the floor, I want you to come back up and squeeze there for a second, and then go back down to that starting position and repeat before moving onto the opposing side, allowing that side that you just worked to relax. This exercise is going to be primarily working and isolating your hamstrings. Mind-muscle connection is very, very important throughout these workouts. I want you to picture the muscle moving. Buy yourself an anatomy chart. Look at the attachments and the origins of every single one of these muscle groups so you have a better mind-muscle connection and you know how a muscle should feel when you're moving it. you'll notice that we're doing a lot of hamstring dominant movements this week, which I think is very, very important. A lot of people are quad dominant and they have knee issues because of it. Now, I'm sure you don't want any knee problems in the future, so that is why we're really working at strengthening the hamstrings. And we're going to continue to do so with RDLs, Romanian deadlifts, okay? So with doing so, your legs are going to be slightly bent. You're going to bend over by hinging your hips back and then forward. But I want you to pause with every single one of these reps to ensure that you are controlling the movement. Okay, so you're going to grab hold of the dumbbells. You're going to slowly go down. Pause there by putting your hips back and then back up. Go down slowly, under control, and then back up. Keeping your upper back completely straight and legs slightly bent. When performing this movement, I want you to stand up tall, chest out, chin up, and shoulders slightly back. The primary movers that you are going to target throughout this exercise is going to be your hamstrings and glutes. You will get a little bit of lower back involvement as well as your secondary mover. When performing this exercise, I want you to keep tension applied upon the hamstrings by not hyperextending when you are at the top. You're going to bend over, you're going to come halfway down your shins with the dumbbells that you're holding before coming back up to the top position, squeezing your glutes before returning back down. Make sure that you keep your back flat throughout the entirety of this movement, particularly when you start to get tired. Let's not give up now. I know that you have the little voices in your head to say, this is too hard, I'm too lethargic, I'm too busy. Do not give up. Manage your time. Commit yourself harder. Control your environment and finish strong. Now we're moving on to biceps, starting off with single arm dumbbell hammer curls. So with this exercise, you're gonna stand up, grab hold of the dumbbell, and you're gonna focus on one side at a time to really accentuate that mind-muscle connection. We're gonna be focusing on thickening that bicep, and of course, we're gonna work the forearm at the same time. So you're going to curl up with your palm facing towards you. As you come up towards the shoulder, you pause for a second and then slowly work that negative for about 2 seconds. Hold, slowly down and back up. Keeping your upper body straight, no swinging, and once you've completed the repetitions on one side, you do the exact same thing on the other side to complete one set. Once you've completed one set, you can rest for about 45 to 60 seconds and then repeat. To begin with this exercise, I want you to stand up completely straight, upper body high, chest up and chin up. Don't allow your lower body to collapse at all. Keep your legs locked out. When performing this movement, you are going to be targeting the biceps and thickening of the biceps, the brachialis. So when you're performing this exercise, I want you to keep constant tension placed upon the working arm by squeezing at the top for a second and getting a full stretch at the bottom. I want you to focus on the mind-muscle connection, but also the weight and the stress and the load that you're placing upon the muscle. You can't just focus on the muscle on growing if you don't have enough resistance. So make sure the resistance places enough stress on the muscle in order for it to protest by growing. So now you have an understanding of where your limits lie. So let's push past them. Push past any limits that you've put in front of you. There are no limits, only your limitations. So let's get to that last set and push it harder than we did the ones before. Our next exercise is going to require a band, because because we'll be performing the banded drag curl, which is great to get the peak of your biceps and to isolate this area, particularly with a band, because we're going to have added resistance at the top of the movement. The wider that you stand on a resistance, the harder it will be. So you're going to drag your palms up and then down. You're going to try to come up as high as you can by dragging your elbows back and your hands up your body. So it should not go away from your body, it should drag up. Elbows coming back the entire time. It will be a shorter range of motion, but I want you to try to come up to your pecs before going back down. And repeat, squeeze and back down. It's going to be painful, but you've got to fight through that pain. When performing the banded drag curls, I want you to stand up in an upright position. Your head up, chest stuck out, shoulders back. When you hold on to the resistance band with your palms facing towards you and you're standing on the resistance band, there should be tension already with your arms straight. This is going to keep constant tension on your biceps. You're going to be targeting your biceps as you come up and pulling your elbows back. And to keep constant tension on your biceps, I want you to pause at the top of the movement. And then as you go back down to a straightened position, there still should be tension applied to your biceps. No pausing at the bottom, but pause when you contract at the top and repeat. Okay, you committed to this, so you better follow through. Don't get taken off your goal. Don't be meandering or navigating a way out of it. You started with this commitment. Are you somebody that follows through or comes up with an excuse? The choice is yours. Hold on to your band because we haven't finished with it yet. Now we're moving on to the banded bicep curl. So when you did the drag curl, your elbows came back. This time your elbows are going to be hinged forward and they're going to stay there. Your palms are going to be in the same position as before. So elbows will be in front and you're going to curl up and then back down. Okay, you're going to come up, hold it, 2-second negative, before repeating. You should be reaching failure between 15 and 20 repetitions here, so fight the resistance on the way down. When performing the banded bicep curl, your position to begin with should be standing upright, elbows back, chest up, keeping your core tight so you have a good, strong posture before you begin this movement. The targeted muscle groups that you're going to hit with this exercise is going to be your biceps. To keep constant tension applied to the biceps, there should be resistance on the band before you begin. So there shouldn't be any slack in the band throughout any part of the movement. As you come up to the top position, I want you to squeeze at the top for a second before going back down to the bottom, where you're not going to pause, you're going to come straight back up and repeat. Remind yourself of why you started this goal and why you should finish it. Write your goals down every day. Read those goals every day. Read them back to yourself and make sure you reaffirm those goals every day. Now we're moving on to abs. I always say you do get your abs in the kitchen. However, we want to remove the fat in the kitchen and have a decent set of abs developed waiting for us. And you're going to get them here within these workouts. We're going to start off with Russian twist. So you're going to need a dumbbell for this exercise. You're going to sit on the floor. You're going to hold this dumbbell and you're going to lean back as far as you can without lying back on the floor. So you should have tension on your abs, which is about that point for me, okay? Then with your dumbbell, you're going to come either side like that towards the floor and then the other side. And as you twist, you breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. So this will target your upper abs, your obliques, your intercostals, and your lower abs. So when performing the dumbbell Russian twist, I want you to sit down with your legs slightly bent. Then you're gonna lean back until your abs start to engage, okay? And then what I want you to do is hold onto a dumbbell as extra resistance. This is gonna help you target your upper abs, your lower abs, and your obliques. When you're performing this exercise from one side to the other, I need you to breathe out. As you exhale, you fully contract your obliques. And then you breathe out again as you twist to the opposing side to fully contract your obliques. I want you to keep constant tension applied to your abs by holding that dumbbell throughout the entirety of the movement and not allowing that dumbbell to touch the floor either side. This is where people either fall off or they move forward and they come up in a winner's circle. Do you want to end up on the podium or do you want to be just another number? Be a success within yourself by pushing yourself every single day, marking off every single meal and every single workout to absolute failure in order to achieve your goals. Now, final exercise is a static exercise, meaning there's no movement within this, but that doesn't mean it's easy. It is very difficult. You're going to be performing a plank. So your plank should be your body pretty much parallel to the floor, about an inch away from the floor. I don't want your back to collapse, and I definitely don't want your glutes to go high. I'm going to demonstrate this exercise for you. So this is a great core strengthening movement, where you're going to put all the weight onto your elbows, your hands, and your feet. Okay, so no knees. You should just hold it there, and I don't want your glutes high, and I don't want your body or pelvis to collapse either. It should be aligned. And I want you to focus and concentrate on bringing your belly button in towards your spine and squeezing as hard as you can. Some people call it a vacuum, but just call it a contraction for now, and just squeeze, hold it, and you should hold this position until you reach absolute failure, meaning you can't hold it anymore until you collapse. So as you can see here, I'm lying down with my elbows and my feet and hands touching the floor. I'm keeping my core aligned with the floor. I'm squeezing my obliques, my lower abs, my upper abs, and my intercostals. And I'm keeping the tension on the core and the lower back while squeezing my glutes throughout the entirety of the movement. So when performing the plank, make sure that you keep your core completely tight. So your posture should be aligned with the floor. Your upper body, your lower body should be parallel to the floor that you're supporting yourself on. Your muscle groups that you're working are your intercostals, your upper abs, and your lower abs. Completely squeeze your glutes and your core throughout the entirety of this movement, and try to not allow your back to collapse. Come on, don't give up now. I know it's tough. It's supposed to be difficult. Nobody said it was going to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would have the body, the dreams, and the career that they've always wanted. Great workout, awesome, you did a great job. Now tomorrow you have your active rest day. So it isn't just rest, you need to be active. So as I said before, if you can park yourself away from the destination that you're going to so you can walk a few blocks, perfect, but you still have your cardio to do on top of that. So make sure that you get it in because your consistency will show in the success of your physique.